And today we have very important three people. And I should tell you, they are veterans from a different industry. That is from the, what do you say, the commodity trading part, I think, the stock exchange market, which is going to be the game changer in agri sector, no doubt. And I think the way they are coming with lot of experience, and especially he has got 26 years, no? 23 years into finance, and he has been on educating the importance of finance. And I think the way he has taken the leadership to take the beam ahead, the way I was talking to you, the vision, the dream, the ideas, it's a huge. If a 1% of that come to reality, I think there will be a huge change. So you can see that naturally a 10% growth is happens in any industry. So that happens, I think, it will change the face of Indian agriculture, especially the face of Indian farming community, no doubt. And the way they are aspiring and working together, Krishi Jagran will be happiest to take that forward, whatever the we get. And I'm sure we will listen to them. And I'm sure it is going to change the world. It's going to change a lot of things. Okay, so let us hear from them. I wish we start from the younger team and we will come last to the CEO. Okay, so let me hear Mr. Saurav Ghosh, what was the intention of meeting us together and today and how we are going ahead. Then we will have Madam coming. Then we will.
Namaskar. And I didn't expect कि हम लोगों को आप लोगों से इस तरह से interact करना पड़ेगा अभी. But I'm glad that Damir Saab and Shiny ji have given us this opportunity. See, the problem of agriculture that we are all trying to solve is not a one man's job. वो कोई एक organization या कोई एक संस्था नहीं कर सकती. और जब तक हम लोग कोलैबोरेट नहीं करेंगे या अपने प्रोग्राम्स को एम्पलीफाई नहीं करेंगे तब तक हम लोग नहीं कर पाएंगे. तो जब हम लोग विचार कर रहे थे, हमारी डिस्कशन चल रही थी निलोत्पल जी से कि इसको कैसे बढ़ाएं. So I said we actually need to build a team, build an army of people who can start helping us doing things. So whatever we do at the base level has to be amplified to the level where it actually reaches out to everybody on this planet rather. India is trying to be the football of the world. So football होना और football की तरफ काम करना is two different subjects. And I'm expecting कि as Nilotpal tells us about how trade happens, we can align everything else behind it. हमारी दिल से इच्छा है कि आप लोग हमारे इस पूरे मुहिम को या जो हम लोग कोशिश कर रहे हैं उसको एम्पलीफाई करने में हमारी मदद करें. और 23-24 लैंग्वेज में जहाँ आप लोग प्रेजेंट हैं ये बात पहुँचे. कोई कुछ करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. थैंक यू.
Suman also. Suman actually from an agriculture background, she has done a lot of activities in an agri domain. Okay, and I never knew that we have some people from the same institute from where Suman has come out. So we have a lot of things in common, and she is very passionate. I never knew that the girls have been so passionate in this field. Okay, let us listen to that.
Thank you, sir. And thank you everyone. आप सब लोग अपना time दे रहे हैं. Thank you so much for that. So I have just two things to say. Number one, all of us know that there are a lot of challenges. Everyone talks about those challenges, and especially challenges जो farmer side के हैं. वो बहुत ज़रूरी है क्योंकि अगर इंडिया को आगे बढ़ना है, अगर हमें impact create करना है, तो जो हमारा weakest link है, उस पर हमें काम करना होगा. आज की जो मीटिंग है उसका उद्देश्य है how all of us, your energy, your experience, your opinions are very important. How can we come together, put our heads together, and find out solutions? That could take time, but क्या चीजें हम कर सकते हैं so that we can really create an impact. And now Nilotpal ji will come and will give you perspective on what we do, what our thoughts are, and it will be great अगर अगर आप में से कुछ लोग आए और शेयर करें कि इन सब चीज़ों पे आपका क्या पर्सपेक्टिव है एंड हाउ वी कैन डू इट टुगेदर. सो दैट इज़ व्हाई वी आर हियर एंड वेरी हैप्पी कि आप लोगों ने इतना अच्छा वेलकम किया. थैंक्स अ लॉट.
Thanks a lot, Dominic ji and Madam, for such a wonderful welcome and giving us time to share our thoughts and perspective on the whole issue. The idea of Beam was it was seeded almost 2 years back, and the company was set up in March 2021. So it's been a year and a half since we have been operational. The company is jointly promoted by BSc and iFarms. The reason why we set up this platform was obviously BSc has its interest in agriculture. It's one of the largest platforms for shared trade globally. It's actually the world's fastest trading platform. And they wanted to do something in the area of agriculture. They already have one option market for agriculture, by the way. So when the idea of setting up a commodity exchange for spot market came, they really liked it and they wanted a partner for that, and we kind of came in as the subject matter expert over there. Personally, I come from the investment background, so I'm not an agriculture one, but over a period of time, through my education and through my work, I have learned some amount of the trade of agriculture. So what essentially we do at Beam, and the purpose of having this platform was to work on two things. One, bring more efficiency into the agribusiness, and two, bring down the information asymmetry in the whole market. And when you do these two things, you realize that it's not that the transactions are not happening. Transactions are happening, but we all know that these markets are extremely inefficient, and so much so that the price at the producer end vis-a-vis the price at the consumer end, in the most, you look at, for example, milk, where an intervention has ensured that the price gap between the farmer and consumer is only 80%. Whereas, and milk, by the way, is a very highly perishable commodity. It has a shelf life of not more than 6 hours. Whereas you look at paddy, you look at wheat, you look at maize, the price differential between the farmer and the consumer is massive. It is more than 100%. And why is that happening? It's happening because of market inefficiency. And that was the whole idea when we got into the business. We'll bring away, we'll remove that inefficiency. And it's easier said than done. It's not easy. We realized, and we already knew that if you want to do this, you need to have the entire ecosystem on your platform. You cannot fight with the ecosystem and then create an impact. You need to align with them. And in the process, you get them on your side and make sure that the problem is solved. And with that view, we have started aligning them one by one gradually. And we hope that over the next 3 to 5 years, we will be in a position where there is some visible impact on the ground. In the process, we realized that while you want to ensure that the transactions happen, you need to have multiple things aligned with you. One of them is availability of finance. So we are making sure that the financial services is being taken care of. Financial services companies, the banks, the NBFCs, they come on our platform and help the traders facilitate the transactions. We want to work with the governments also, because unless, in agriculture you cannot work without the government. Government intervention is important, and agriculture is a political subject. So no government would want and should not want to get away from agriculture. It is the responsibility, and and responsibility in a very positive way, not disrupt in a way which creates problems for the ecosystem players. They should be aligned, the policies should be aligned with the farmer's interest and also with the consumer's interest. So we are keeping all those variables in the back of our mind while designing our agriculture. Each of the products that we are talking about, be it the transaction platform for the farmers, transaction platform for the FPOs, transaction platform for the multinationals, each of them need to align with these two larger variables, the farmer's interest as well as the consumer's interest. Having said that, there is a lot that needs to be done. One of them is capturing the data in the right template so that you are in a position to leverage that data in the long run. So with that view, we are also looking to set up a vertical within our business, which will be working on the data analytics on the quantity. Similarly, getting trade finance in there, as I said, is another important area we need to focus on. Then, within agri-business, there are multiple commodities which are very, very different from the rest of the agri commodities. For example, dairy, spices, potato. Potato is a horticulture crop, yet it is so different from the others. I mean, the entire country consumes it all through the year, and yet we know that 80% of the crop gets produced in 3 states within 3 months of the year. So very high arbitrage potential, very high processing potential. In fact, you will be surprised to know that in the last 10 years, the share of processing in potato has gone up from 2% to 12%. And with the kind of base we have, 12% is a massive number and it's growing. So it's a very specialized commodity. And for each of these specialized commodities, we are going to set up another sub-market as part of B. So these are all things that we plan to do as part of our platform. But in terms of the larger problem of agriculture, it's not solving the supply chain problem is only a very small part of the larger problem. And if you look at the investments that have come in the agri-business, agri-tech in the last 3 to 5 years, almost everybody is looking to solve the supply chain problem. I mean, be it investment coming with Ninja Card or with Dehat or Samunati, they are essentially trying to solve the supply chain problem. But supply chain, to be very honest, is only a small part of the problem. I mean, if you look at India's agricultural productivity, we are, in terms of production, we are number 1 or number 2 in top 10 crops that we grow. Be it paddy, be it wheat, be it banana, be it potato, be it maize. We are either number 1 or number 2. Yet, the surprising thing is that our productivity across all these crops, without fail, the average productivity is almost 50% of the global average. And even more surprisingly, if you look at the investments that have come in the country in agri-tech in the last 5 years, none of the investments is actually trying to solve this problem, the productivity issue. So we are also mindful of this. We know that this is a big problem, and as you were saying that we are looking to be the football of the world. We cannot be the football unless we address that problem. And in order to address that problem, what is it that we need? I mean, it's one thing to solve the supply chain problem, and that itself is a massive challenge. I mean, we may take 10 to 12 years to solve that problem alone. And in fact, 10 beams may take 10 to 12 years to solve that problem. And there is room for 10 to 12 beams in the country. But even bigger challenge is to address that problem, the productivity challenge. So what can we do? We realize that unless we work directly with the farmers, we cannot solve that. And we also realize that we cannot work directly with the farmers because we do not have that kind of reach, we do not have that kind of resources at our disposal. We are a commodity exchange. I mean, That's the mandate that SEBI has given us. I mean, we can't, there are things that we can do, there are things that we can't afford to do. And rightly so, there is a reason for, putting those restrictions. So, we are looking to align with the FPOs. And we are also looking to get agri-input companies, the right kind of, the companies who have right kind of technologies to solve these problems, to come on board and help solve those problems. So overall, I mean, the whole idea of having this discussion with all of you was to share what being is, what our vision is, what we want to achieve over the next 5 to 7 years, and in the process, create an impact. So these are some of the very high level thoughts that we had, and I thought I must be sharing this with you. I again want to express my gratitude to Dominic ji and Saurav to getting us together, getting us here, and thanks once more. I'm open to any questions if you have. I'll be happy to respond to it. So this is what I wanted to convey to you. Now I'm open to any discussion, any question, and happy to respond to your queries.
Sir, how are you planning to address this supply chain issue that you're talking about, sir?
See, as I said, the problem is that it's a cliche, but two problems that I have seen. One, there is massive inefficiency. I mean, you look at dairy, for example, most perishable commodity, yet what producer gets and what you pay in the market, the difference is only 20%. So there is somebody who has solved that problem, created massive amount of, they invested massive amount of time, massive amount of money, and massive amount of infrastructure to solve that problem. But you look at wheat, the minimum support price is what? 20 rupees? And you buy from, I don't want to take the name of any brand, it's minimum 32, 33 rupees, right?
Minimum, yeah.
So the difference is what? Almost 50%? And it's not a perishable commodity. And what kind of value are you adding? It's not massive. I mean, it's basically powdering it, right? So there is a problem there, right? And the problem is not, I'm not saying that 50% margin is big. I'm saying that 50% margin is inefficient. Is there a possibility to bring that down? Yes, there is. Is there a possibility of making farmers earning the minimum support price of 17 rupees, 18 rupees, taking it to 24? Yes, there is a possibility. And that's what we are looking to do. And the idea is that if you work directly, I mean, we know that we can't work with farmers, but we can work with FPOs because they can bring that to scale.
Right.
So at one end, on the supply side, if we can create that kind of, aggregators platform, I mean, if we can get those aggregators on our platform, and on the other, if we can get the, all these, processors and the corporate on the other side, possibly the layers of, the inefficiency that has been created over a period of time, that can be brought down. Obviously, it will not happen overnight. It will take time, and there will be resistance also from the other side. So the whole idea is to ensure that, and that I believe may take some time, but it can come. It can happen. There is a possibility that it can happen. Possibly wheat was not the right example. We should talk about maybe
Potato.
potato, onion.
Right.
Massive opportunity.
The onion challenge has been opened by Niti Aayog right now. About onion supply chain. It's a major problem.
Major problem. Potato even bigger problem.
This FPO concept come into existence only because of potato and onion shortage. That year 2007, 2008, there was a great shortage, and that time we thought how to address this situation. Then it comes out.
I have a quick question, just to add to the point that you were saying. The example you gave of milk was perishable. So my problem is your problem, because हम दोनों का दूध 6 घंटे में खराब हो जाएगा. So we will collaborate and try to find a solution. But when we talk about products like commodities like आलू, प्याज, इनकी shelf life काफी लंबी है. तो the incentive, like I am a poor farmer, मेरी incentive है कि तुरंत बेच के निकलिए. आप बड़े farmer हैं, आपको holding की capacity है. So how do we align our interest so that we also kind of get into that level? And that's where we expect the help from commodity markets कि छोटे किसान का जो सामान है वो भी उठ के जाए और हमारी You get the point, right? Punishability is a major issue which is bringing those two big milk producers and small milk producers together. हमारे लिए क्या है?
It's not, I'm so sorry to cut you on that. This problem of milk is not in India, was not in India alone. It was there in Pakistan,
हाँ.
other countries also. But what happened in India didn't happen in other countries because there was an effort from somewhere which ensured that the problem is addressed. Similarly, I think even in the case of onion or potato or any other commodity, you need 2-3 things to happen. One, of course, there has to be an interest group. So it's not that dairying, I mean, the solution in dairy was very easy. It was tough. It was very tough. There were challenges at multiple levels. So somebody addressed that. Similarly, in potato, there are various interest groups. In onion, there are interest groups who want market to operate in certain ways, which protects their interest.
That is the reason it is not there.
So, as policymakers, as market players, you know, all the players who are operating in this ecosystem, they have a role. And the moment the policy making aligns the interest of each one of them, I think that problem solving becomes easier. So in terms of infrastructure, I'll tell you, until 2011, we were sort of both storage as well as cold storage infrastructure. Today we are not. We have sufficient amount of cold storage facility. We have adequate warehousing capacity available.
But running is a problem because there is no electricity. Around 24/7 in rural
So
area.
that also
That is
that
the
also is
reason-
largely addressed. Largely
Yes.
addressed. पहले से काफी बेहतर है. I mean, it's
But
not.
still there is a problem
It is,
because
it
of
is.
this
I'm not
environmental
saying
issues. The generators are banned and the potatoes and the onions got rotten.
I know. So I mean, as I said, it takes time. It takes time. It will not be easy to solve that problem, but the electricity availability has definitely improved. I mean, we can't deny that. So that's happening. Now, you know, as policymakers, as market players, we all have certain responsibility and we all need to play. Specifically for onion, I mean, we have not planned any market as yet because we know that it's one of the toughest problems to solve. And to be very honest, there is not one pan-India player, corporate, who is working on onion as yet. So we do not have enough, and I'm being very honest in admitting this, we do not have the expertise to deal with potato, onion. We have expertise on potato, by the way. We are collaborating with somebody who knows how to handle potato. We are collaborating with somebody who knows how to handle spices. So, and we have our limitations. As I said, I come from capital market, so my expertise is very different. Agriculture is not my expertise. Suman knows better. And so similarly, we are looking to collaborate. We are looking to collaborate with people who bring those skills, those knowledge. So that's where, you know, we are trying to do something, and let's hope it works out.
Thank you.
Thanks once more.
Thank you very much, sir. And now I would like to invite Dr. Pant for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Pathak Saab, Ms. Davas and Ghosh Saab, to be here. And I, on behalf of Krishi Jagran, thank you very much to share your thoughts, and we understand what BEAM is doing. And we expect that there is a gap in market demand and supply. And to address the demand and supply, people are there, government is there, policy is there. The only thing is this, the communication part, we are lacking on communication part, number one. Number two, whatever we are doing in a closed room. And agriculture is not a subject which required a closed room, it required an open field. So with the open mind, we can discuss how to address the problem of farmers, and farmers are very scared about the government policies also because of the immediately, as you said, some interest groups are there to to hijack the market or hijack the government policy. So if you people are there and you educate the groups how to collaborate with big institutes to procure the to get produce from the market directly from the farmers and get the proper price. And once again, thank you very much for coming in KJ Chopals. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. And now we will have a quick photo session.